Okay, quick music disclaimer here. I do not own the rights to this music, which belongs to the rightful owner, who is the intoxicating mind of Dr. Frankenstein. So he made my intro and my outro, and I hope you guys enjoy. Check them out on Spotify and YouTube, and no copyright infringement is intended. Have a good day.
A clear choice of good versus evil, of right versus wrong.
Twisted Tales.
Welcome back to today's episode of Twisted Tales, folks. So, today's tale's pretty twisted. Haha, nice pun. It involves a murder, a missing body, one hell of a media circus trial. So, tonight's episode, I'll be talking about William Sanderson, a member of the Dalhousie College track and field team. He was a model son to his parents, and, came from a good family, worked at a group home for adults with disabilities. Then, his life went to shit, because he killed, Taylor Sampson. So listen up, relax, and I'll tell you this tale of murder, greed, a little bit of debt, and some drugs. Now, our victim, 22-year-old Taylor Sampson, lived in a frat house near Dalhousie College. He was a physics student, pretty damn good one at that. And, one night he decided to go sell 20 pounds of marijuana for a total of $40,000. And that was the last time he was ever seen. He vanished without a trace on the night of August 15th, 2015. William Sandeson was about to start medical school, but he was heavily involved in drug dealing. He accumulated about $78,000 in debt on a line of credit over 2 years. So in order to clear this debt, he arranged to meet Mr. Sampson and set up a meet for a drug deal at his apartment complex. So some think that this was premeditated as he planned to rob Sampson. Once inside the apartment for the meeting, Sandeson said that he placed $10,000 on the kitchen table in front of Sampson. Sampson then started to count the cash, stating that it came up short, so he asked where the rest of the money was. Sanderson stated that it was elsewhere. Sampson then became agitated, and William lifted up his shirt to show the handgun tucked in his jeans. He opened up his apartment door and ordered Sampson to leave the apartment. After a little bit of arguing, Sanderson told police that Taylor started to calm down. He asked him if he could sit down, talk to him, not very nonchalantly, and talk things out. So that was actually a distraction. So Sanderson asked Taylor, "Hey, where's your pretty girlfriend?" So this distracted him enough to try to grab the gun from him. The two men wrestled for control of the gun. Sanderson told police that he was pinned against a table from Sampson. So at one point, before he let go, Sampson laughed at the ordeal, and he sat back down. Sanderson said he was standing when he chambered around to the gun, pointed it at Sampson, who lunged out of the chair to begin to try to grab the gun again. When he pulled the trigger, Sampson then slumped over in his chair after he was shot. He checked his neck for a pulse. He said he noticed blood everywhere on his head and his neck, but he didn't see where the gunshot wound was. So after the shooting, Sanderson went across the hall from his apartment. He knocked on the neighbor's door, told the occupants to get out of the building. So the two men looked in the door of Sanderson's apartment and saw the victim in the chair. Blood, money, all over the place. Just something right out of a movie, they said. He then dragged Sampson's body to the bathroom, left it in the bathtub until he cleaned up the apartment. While Sampson's body was laying in the tub, he wrapped his body in black garbage bags. He lined the duffel bag, which had earlier contained marijuana, with a towel. He then positioned the body in the duffel bag and carried it outside to his hatchback. In a cross-examination with police, Sanderson had denied dismembering Sampson. He was a 6'4", 220-pound body, and he fit that right in the duffel bag. He told police he folded his legs up towards his chest and then put them in, and he did not dismember his body. During the trial, a defense lawyer named Allison Craig said that there's no question that Mr. Sanderson caused the tragic death of Mr. Sampson. In her closing statement to the jury, she stated, "The issue is for the jury to decide whether or not Mr. Sanderson acted in self-defense or he had the intent to kill Mr. Sandeson. So some say that Sandeson put the money on the table to distract him, and he was going to shoot him in the back of the head, and that it was all planned and deliberate. So there was lots of talk in the courtroom and outside the courtroom by the media about the horrific crime. Some stated that even after the killing, Sandeson showed no hesitation in the initial moment of panic. I mean, even after talking to the people across the hall, he quickly got to work cleaning the apartment and dealing with Taylor's remains. He had a lot of bleach and garbage bags, and he had Taylor's remains removed from the apartment in about an hour and 45 minutes. Jurors began a verdict on the trial, which lasted about 5 weeks. There was a self-defense argument, but it was never presented to the jury. So, in Sandeson's trial in 2017, when he was initially found guilty of first-degree murder, he ended up serving about 7.5 years. So his second trial was ordered in 2020 for a sentence hearing. They were actually going to charge him with second-degree murder. But Justice James Chipman reached a decision on Sandeson's parole eligibility, stating that while second-degree murder carries an automatic life sentence, the parole ineligibility ranges from 10 to a maximum of 25 years. So since he has 7.5 years served in prison, he decided to give him 15 years total. So with the time currently served, he has 7.5 more years to go and will become eligible for parole in 2030. And that's all I have today for you folks. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a wonderful day. Take care, folks.
Twisted Tales.